Anybody? Any of you want to watch Quartering with me? No? Why not? Come on, surely Jeremy is worth watching. At least a little bit? Maybe even a small bit? Who knows? Alpha says, let me guess, Brie Larson. No, thankfully he hasn't talked about Brie in a while, at least not that I've seen. That said, I need to pull up fan art for you real quick, because we need to celebrate before we go into talk about Jeremy. We got to talk about Dear Van Henson saying, first thing I drew on my new tablet, and yes, I just made cats with boobs cannon, you're welcome. Yeah, I was wondering why there were tits on those cats. I give up on reality, though this does remind me that I need to get a tablet for doing stuff on stream at some point. Mine is somewhere and broken, likely. I have no idea where it is. That said, thank you very much for checking out the channel. If you're here and new, please subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you very much, Van Helsen, for the fan art submission. I appreciate it greatly. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That said, here's Jeremy.
Well, I knew that things were gonna, obviously, the other shoe was gonna drop in New York City with that dope Zohran Mamdani, but I didn't expect it to happen nearly instantaneously. I am not kidding you. These idiots in New York City, mostly white college-educated women, elected a communist who promised...
Again, I don't see how they keep calling him a communist. I don't see evidence that he's actually a communist. That said, I'm trying to figure out where this comeuppance is coming from. So, Jeremy, please enlighten us.
Them free stuff, and then immediately ran an ad asking for money to pay for the free stuff.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the ad where he's talking about donating money in order to get the transition team paid? Because your transitionary team still has to get paid. And normally, whenever a mayor-elect has a transition team, like with Eric Adams, what he did is he had the transition team paid for with, you know, millionaire and billionaire dollars. $2 million were fundraised by the elite class and paid for his transition team. Zohran Mamdani is expressly trying not to do that, so of course he's going to have to ask for the money to come from elsewhere.
I'm not kidding you. On top of every local business owner speaking out against him, and he admits on live TV that no, he actually isn't going to defund the police, and he actually isn't going to do any of the stupid stuff.
Did he ever say he was going to defund the police? Like, I don't remember that ever being part of his platform.
That he said after humiliating Hassan Piker and AOC, this is a wonderful day. Just want to highlight 3 flavors out on Amazon right now, linked in the description.
Okay, or instead, you can use today's sponsor. And you know what? It's actually not DDLG Playground. No. See, I don't know if many of you know this, but I actually am sponsored by Manapool. Manapool, if you do not know, they are a card game distributor, mostly focused on Magic the Gathering, and you can get singles, you can get sealed product from them. They are fantastic, and I have a code that you can use. It should be in the description below. If you want to support my channel, use that and pick up any Magic the Gathering stuff that you're planning on picking up through that link. There! Today's video is not sponsored by DDLG Playground, it's sponsored by Manapool, because I like trading card games. Do you like trading card games? I like trading card games. Anyway.
Our Blackberry Cream, available for $50. Zohran Mamdani, by the way, is now begging for money to help his transition. Considering his hateful speech last night, where he was angry and divisive, you have to wonder who would still donate to him. Also, where's all the free stuff? Mamdani promised free stuff.
What was the free stuff he promised? Was it affordable housing or buses? Because, like, affordable housing isn't free stuff. It's affordable stuff. And free buses are not free buses. They are taxpayer-funded buses, where he was going to increase the taxes on the rich in New York City by 1% to fund the busing infrastructure. That's not the same thing as free stuff. I love how every one of these chuckle fucks constantly have to like stretch and misinterpret what Zohran Mamdani's platform was in order to try to sell you against him. Also, yeah, he's not even in office yet. He's mayoral elect.
So here he gets 362,000 likes, by the way.
Okay, so pointing out how many likes it has is also a fallacy. It's argumentum ad populum. It is a fallacy that people use to fluff up an argument. Everybody believes this. Everybody knows this. But like everybody believing something and everybody, quote, knowing something is not the same thing as a thing being true.
And we are going to help you keep NYC affordable. You can start by sending us money. You know, he was the most deserving candidate in the election. He finally won. Well, he was the only candidate. Remember when we told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? Well, you can start again. That's literally what he's out here doing.
Right. You can stop sending us money for the political campaign because money that was raised for the political campaign legally cannot be used to fund his transition team. I'm sorry. That's how that works. Just like how when Kamala Harris was running, she had to run as the Democratic candidate because she would not have, or anybody we put in would not have access to the campaign funds that the Biden administration had ran. She had to run effectively as an arm of the Biden administration. The way that funds can be used during campaigns and during other things are all tied up legally. So of course, when he says, hey, stop donating, we have enough to fund the campaign. And then he won the campaign. And then when he says, okay, you can start donating again because now legally donations are not going towards the campaign. Donations would be going towards the transitionary team. That's how this works. I love how idiots like Jeremy can just wax lyrical about dumb shit that doesn't actually matter, and people will just eat it the fuck up.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history.
No,
Today we begin the work of making a new administration.
There's been plenty of woke idiots elected to mayor in this country and woke people of color. You've done nothing.
What does woke mean? What does woke mean, Jeremy? Is woke just when not white? Why the fuck would I care about when not white?
Interesting at all. You're a loser. You're going to be out as mayor probably within a year or two at most.
Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign. To make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves.
So give us money?
As we prepare to govern.
Yes, actually. Yeah. What do you think taxes are, dumbass?
We'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda.
Oh, wait till you get a load of these idiots too. I don't know if this music is going to be, royalty free. We'll see.
On January 1st, I will be your mayor.
Oof.
New Year's Day and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah, here we go.
Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires...
Yeah, again, like it's okay. So you know how there are certain jokes that are only funny if you're an idiot? Like, if you lack the brain power to process certain types of humor, you find things that are not humorous funny. That's what's going on here. Quartering, Jeremy, finds this really hilarious because he actively lacks the brain power to understand that the transition team needs to be funded. Soccer says if the city doesn't fund the transition team, that speaks to a problem. Exactly. Again, traditionally, the transition team is funded by donors. It's always funded by donors. It is where those donors come from. Kazooie, thank you for resubscribing. It is where those donors come from that changes things. Mamdani's campaign is expressly a campaign, or expressly has been a campaign, that tries to not use billionaire and millionaire donor money. He wants to use exclusively money that was raised from the ground up because those are the people he's accountable to. In the same vein, as a content creator, if Lenari says, what was that noise? It was his fake laugh and me sneezing. But likewise, if I had to have a choice between being given $10,000 by a giant corporation let's say that it's Hasbro, right? They make a lot of games that I enjoy, or rather they're over those games. I love Magic. I like Nerf guns. I have a passing fascination with Beyblade. These are all things that Hasbro in the United States owns. If Hasbro were to offer me $10,000, sure, I'd like to take it because it would pay for my bills. But if I have the choice between that money, which is likely going to come with strings attached from that company, or that money coming in $1, $2, and $3 at a time from my audience. Like if the 65,000 people who are subscribed to me were to all donate, 10 cents, right? 15 cents, that would still make up $10,000. But it would be $10,000 from the people that I would rather be accountable to. I don't want to be accountable to a giant corporation. Personally, I'd rather be accountable to the people who watch me and have allowed me to do my job for years. Those are the people I want to be accountable to. That's the same thing that's going on here. Mamdani is trying to source the money from the people he sees himself as accountable to. He is not trying to source the money from the people who he sees as having been classically the problem in his state for years.
Oh, he fooled you all. He fooled you.
Fooled you all into what?
Well, please give us the money. Forgive a please. No socialism. Obviously, then, remember, Zohran Mamdani.
Again, he's not even a fucking socialist, but okay.
Taps big tech antagonist Lina Khan as co-chair of mayoral transition team. He's starting his term by declaring war on New York's business community.
The business community? You mean of like 15 people? What?
You get what you deserve. Here's Hassan Piker with his Fell For It Again award. Justin.
Again, all of these jokes only really work if there was something that these people actually fell for. But again, this is the transition team. This is what we would expect to happen in any transition, except Mamdani is sourcing the money from elsewhere.
Zohran Mamdani on MSNBC laughs and said that he should have been more careful around his tweets calling to defund the police.
Concerning defunding the police, you obviously don't believe that anymore, right?
Yes, I've said that very clearly.
Said that time and again.
Okay, again, the defund the police thing, was that ever a linchpin of his campaign? Was that a thing that he specifically said he was going to be doing on the campaign trail, or was that just an opinion he threw out into the ether on the internet? Because those are very different things. If I say that, also, mind you, if he starts allocating the funding that is being used for the New York policing system and starts allocating it differently so that there's not just police being a catch-all for every mental health crisis that ever happens, that is defunding the police. The problem with the defunding the police statement has always been the fact that it means different things to different people. And unlike something like Make America Great Again, where the obfuscation works in their favor, the MAGA crowd works really well when there's 15 people and you can't identify who the real racist is because each of them have a different version of MAGA. That lets it work very well as camouflage. But when you're talking about an actual movement for a policy change, because defund the police is a movement for a policy change, if your policy change is not specific, then your messaging will always feel wrong. It will always be easy to pick apart because you could be person number 35 with opinion number 36 over what defund the police means. I'm not going to hold Zohran to a tweet about defunding the police if it's not part of his actual fucking campaign trail. And from everything that I've been able to see, it's not part of his campaign trail. Never was.
Hassan! Oh, Hassan AOC, what about defunding the police? Oh, well, I'm not going to do that. Now that I got elected, I'm not going to defund the police.
Right.
That we're not.
Anything to clarify. I'm not saying you said or did it, but clarify or say maybe I've learned how
Here's
to
Al
be
Sharpton.
more careful.
By the way, we do this to Rev every time he's on the show, and then Rev will do it to me.
Right.
And we're both apologizing
We
for
do
things
this.
we said years
No, I think I've said that the tweets that I wrote in 2020 around defunding the police, that's not the position that I hold, and I'm running for.
Again, you're trying to hold him accountable to tweets that he made 5 years ago. Are you guys the woke? Like, this seems like the things that the woke do that you guys don't like. Is that what we're doing today?
mayor to deliver public safety in partnership with the police department.
Right.
And there's also language that I've used in those same tweets, which I've apologized for.
My guy, this is from July. So Jeremy, God, I can't stand covering Jeremy. So here's a quote from Mamdani in July, way earlier this year. I am not running to defund the police. I am not defunding the police. That's what he was saying in July. There's no fuck around find out here. This is the information that he has been telling people for the entirety of his campaign. It's the same thing. He's not... Oh my God. God. So here's the thing. Not only is Jeremy stupid, and you can tell that he's getting all of his information from very, very right-wing sources on Twitter, but Jeremy is the type of person who literally will never learn how to be better about this. Because Jeremy makes more money when he gets to pretend that the world operates the way that it seems to operate in his brain's fantasy world. In his brain's fantasy world, he gets to call out hypocrisy where there actually isn't any. But as long as he can point at it and shout at it enough, he's got a base that will see that. Here, I promise you, if I look at the comment section of here, I am going to see people laughing alongside Jeremy. Because he's got 263,000 views, so... What? It turns out he was lying just to get elected? I'm almost as shocked as Kaya. Oh, okay, we're just taking pot shots at the dog incident again, even though we've got experts saying that's not what happened. Okay. Folks voted for a socialist Muslim and are shocked he's untrustworthy? My flabbers are truly and utterly gasted. He's not a total fraud. He's a Muslim Trojan horse. All he will do is elect as-man Islamic-aligned humans into every position he can for as long as he can. You know what's funny? Every one of these people is stating the actual platform of Project 2025. Like, they're saying that they do not like the idea at all of a politician who lies to get elected and also has a platform where they are not going to get experts in, but will get people who are ideologically aligned with them in. They don't like that idea. So they don't like Donald Trump, right? Like they distinctly should not like Donald Trump. And so many of these comments are just, he's Muslim. Lying to the Dehimis is par for the course. Is Dehimi the same as like a goy for a Jew? Is that the same thing, I guess? If you voted for this guy and end up fleeing to another state, the price of admission needs to be you are no longer allowed to vote. Ah, yes, let's just start ripping away people's voting rights. Jeremy, you truly have cultivated an audience of intellectual giants. All of them. All of them. All right, so the most replayed part of the video is here. I want to see what's going on here.
Literally, the local businesses are noping out of New York City if he does this. Oh, by the way, here's an interview with New York City small business owners and how they react to Zohran Mamdani.
You do realize that New York is huge. I could get an interview with 5 different business owners in New York and get 5 different opinions. But, okay, let's see what worth this has.
Did he win, by the way?
He won.
They chose the knucklehead.
Well, first of all, this guy probably should have voted, but I don't know who. Again, Zohran Mamdani winning is not the product of this insane demand for communist ideals. It's that he literally beat 2 candidates that had 0 chance of winning. One, a disgraced elderly killing machine in Andrew Cuomo, and the other in Silva that really had no chance. I don't have a ton of criticism for Curtis Silva. I know he's not really mega, and there have been conservative mayors in the past in New York City, Giuliani, for example, but, he was a little R Republican.
Okay, Vice Rhino says, did you see the compilation of the Fox News host talking about how wealthy people and businesses owners are fleeing New York going back to 2009? No, I haven't, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's the same as the nobody wants to work anymore shit, where nobody wants to work anymore. Ah, yes, this is a unique thing that has been happening very recently. We don't have newspaper articles talking about this going back, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 90 years.
Republican kind of guy, working class Republican.
Is this the most replayed part of the video where there's like no salient criticism given whatsoever by Jeremy? It's just him pausing the video of somebody's opinion to say what a little R Republican is and how somebody wasn't MAGA enough for him. Okay.
Yeah. This again, here's a business owner who clearly didn't vote. So let's listen to his.
Here's a business owner that clearly didn't vote. How do you know that? Is there some factor here that you are looking at that is telling you that he didn't vote? Is there something I'm missing here? Is it that he's black?
His hot take here.
Win, by the way?
He won.
They chose the knucklehead, so we're gonna pay for it.
What happens if he opens up the government-run grocery stores?
I'm not with it.
Oh, you don't like the government?
By the way, all these people are brown too. I'm not with it. What if he opens a government-run grocery store? He's not going to do that either, by the way.
Run grocery stores. $30 minimum wage.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that might affect businesses?
We're going to hell. This will be over.
It'll go to hell. It'll all be over. By the way,
So $30 minimum wage, meaning you have to pay your people more. But if the minimum wage goes up, the spending power of people in New York goes up. And if the spending power of the people in New York goes up, then people are able to buy more goods. And so you'll be okay. And if you ask, okay, so here's the thing that confuses me, right? Here's the thing that confuses me. Whenever you get somebody who says that it would be bad if we raised minimum wage, the reason that it would be bad if we raised the minimum wage that is always given is something to do with how expensive it would be for them to run their business or how expensive it is for them to live and how their margins are small. But if we were to make it to where they didn't need such high margins to survive by, I don't know, making busing affordable, making it affordable to own a home in New York City, if we were doing those things, would that not alleviate some of the problems that you're dealing with? And then if you raise the minimum wage of the average worker and you had to pay your, I don't know, 2 workers you have in your store, could be more than that, it depends. But if you have to raise the wages of the workers you have in your stores, but that's equalized by having lower housing costs that you're having to spend your business's profits into, and the money that you're paying your workers is tax deductible, so you end up spending even less there. Does that not help you? And if the people of New York around you have more spending power, then wouldn't they be able to buy more stuff from your store and therefore, I don't know, increase your profit margins because you can sell more things? Weird.
Wait, again, apathy. This is how losers win. I'd be willing to bet that most of these people who are being interviewed didn't vote.
Are they gonna
So you don't know, you're betting. You are betting that. That's what we're working with. Okay, I see. Intellectual giant. Jeremy.
make payroll? It's just about all the
He's another foreigner. Yeah.
he's trying to do, increasing the workers and the taxes. It's not good.
The minimum wage doesn't help the worker. It just helps the system. Pay more money, more taxes. Price.
He's right, dude.
Says the minimum wage doesn't help the worker? How? How does literally making more money as a worker not help a worker? I feel like this guy may be high on his own supply of booze.
This guy's based. Why didn't you vote?
Overnight, half of them will go out of business.
So I'm in a blue.
Correct. Overnight, half of these people will go out of business.
Will they? Will they? All right. Okay, Jeremy, I'm going to hold you to it. If overnight, after Zohran Mamdani gets in office, half of the New York populace that owns businesses goes out of business, then I will eat my own shorts on stream. I will 100% accept that you are correct and you are actually the intellectual supergiant that I have accused you of being. But until then, due entirely to time, that's going to have to be where we end this video, because I don't think there's anything else of worth that's going to be here. And I know that Rhino is going to be beating down my door if I don't end this video, like, right now. So, I will see you all while I'm on with Rhino. Thank you for watching, and I don't know, Manipool sponsored the video and all of my videos, so that's cool. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Sereth, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.